Australia on fire. Netflix shareholders summon emergency meeting furious over Meghan cooking show. Who approved this? Title: Netflix's blunder. Meghan Markle's cooking show sparks outrage amid global crises. Netflix shareholders are seeing red, and it's not from the flames engulfing Australia's landscapes. As the world watches in horror while devastating wildfires consume vast swathes of the Australian continent, Netflix has found itself at the center of a media storm, but not for the reasons anyone might expect. In what many are calling an ill-timed and tone-deaf decision, the streaming giant has greenlit a Meghan Markle-led cooking show that has sparked outrage among viewers, critics, and even its own investors. The backlash has grown so severe that Netflix shareholders have reportedly summoned an emergency meeting to address the fallout. Why, many ask, would Netflix gamble its reputation on a project that feels out of step with the world's current realities? As Australians grapple with a crisis that has claimed lives, displaced thousands, and destroyed ecosystems, Markle's glossy, celebrity-driven escapade into the culinary arts has been branded not just irrelevant but insulting by detractors. The controversy has raised serious questions about the judgment of Netflix's leadership and Markle's seemingly unrelenting quest for media dominance. Meghan Markle's rise to fame has been nothing short of meteoric. But it has also been fraught with controversy. Once celebrated as a modernizing force in the British royal family, Markle has, in recent years, become a polarizing figure whose every move sparks heated debate. Critics argue that Markle's transition from royal duties to Hollywood projects has been marked by a relentless pursuit of fame and wealth, often at the expense of public sentiment. A global feast has only added fuel to the fire. The show, which promises to showcase recipes that unite cultures, has been slammed as a vanity project devoid of substance. Critics argue that Markle's focus on glitzy entertainment feels disconnected from the reality of global crises such as the Australian wildfires. Does Meghan Markle even know what's happening in the world? One commentator asked. While people are losing their homes and wildlife is being wiped out, she's busy talking about quinoa salads. The backlash hasn't been limited to Markle. Netflix itself has come under intense scrutiny for approving the show, with many accusing the company of prioritizing celebrity-driven content over meaningful programming. Shareholders, furious over what they see as a damaging misstep, have reportedly demanded an emergency meeting to address the controversy. One shareholder, speaking anonymously, described the decision to greenlight Markle's cooking show as a catastrophic failure of judgment. Netflix has built its brand on being in touch with its audience, the shareholder said. This show makes it seem like they're completely out of touch. At a time when people are looking for stories of resilience and hope, we're getting celebrity fluff. Adding to the controversy is the reported cost of the show. Insiders claim that Netflix has allocated a significant budget to Meghan's table, a move that has been criticized as wasteful given the platform's recent struggles with subscriber retention and competition from other streaming services. Critics have been particularly scathing about the timing of the show's announcement, which coincided with harrowing images of Australia's wildfires dominating global news headlines. Entire towns have been reduced to ash, and estimates suggest that billions of animals have perished in the blazes. Against this backdrop, the decision to promote a celebrity cooking show has been described as shamelessly tone-deaf. Social media platforms have been flooded with comments condemning Markle and Netflix. While Australia burns, Meghan cooks, one Twitter user wrote, encapsulating the public sentiment. Others have called for a boycott of Netflix, accusing the platform of exploiting Markle's celebrity status at the expense of meaningful content. For critics, the cooking show is just the latest example of what they see as Markle's opportunistic approach to the media. Since stepping back from royal duties alongside Prince Harry, Markle has embarked on a series of high-profile projects, including a podcast, a children's book, and a Netflix documentary series. While some applaud her entrepreneurial spirit, others argue that her ventures lack depth and feel more like attempts to stay in the public eye. Meghan Markle wants to be everything to everyone, one media analyst said. But in trying to do so, she's failing to connect with anyone. This cooking show is a perfect example. It's glossy and high budget, but it doesn't seem to have any real purpose or message. Even Markle's defenders have found it difficult to justify the timing of Meghan's table. While the show's premise, celebrating food as a unifying force, might have merit under different circumstances, critics argue that its release amid a global crisis undermines its message. In the wake of the backlash, neither Markle or Netflix has issued a formal statement addressing the controversy. This silence has only fueled further speculation and criticism. Some have interpreted the lack of response as arrogance, while others believe it reflects an awareness of the gravity of the situation. Netflix and Meghan Markle are playing a dangerous game, one PR expert warned. The longer they stay silent, the worse this will get. People want accountability, and they're not getting it. Behind the scenes, however, sources suggest that Netflix executives are scrambling to contain the fallout. There are rumors that the company is considering shelving the show or rebranding it to distance it from the current controversy. Whether these efforts will be enough to appease critics remains to be seen. The controversy surrounding Meghan's table has also sparked a broader debate about the role of celebrities during times of crisis. Many argue that figures like Markle have a responsibility to use their platforms to raise awareness and support for global issues, rather than pursuing self-serving projects. Celebrities have more influence than ever before, one social commentator said. But with that influence comes responsibility. People are looking to them for leadership and inspiration, not cooking tips. This sentiment has been echoed by activists and philanthropists, who have called on Markle to redirect her efforts toward causes that align with the world's current needs. Some have even suggested that she donate the proceeds from her show to wildfire relief efforts, though there has been no indication that such a move is being considered. As the controversy continues to unfold, it's clear that both Netflix and Meghan Markle have significant challenges ahead. For Netflix, the fallout from Meghan's table raises serious questions about its programming strategy and its ability to gauge public sentiment. For Markle, the backlash represents yet another hurdle in her quest to reshape her public image. Whether the show will ultimately air remains uncertain, but one thing is clear: the decision to greenlight Meghan's table has been a costly one, for Netflix's reputation, for Markle's credibility, and, perhaps most importantly, for the trust of audiences who expect more from one of the world's leading streaming platforms. In a world grappling with crises of unprecedented scale, the last thing people want is another celebrity distraction. If Markle and Netflix fail to recognize this, they risk alienating the very audiences they seek to engage.